Hey guys, welcome to the BuildASofa YouTube channel. We're going to get things going again after being offline for a long time here on YouTube. But today I want to answer my number one question. How does the BuildASofa process work? I usually like to break it down into 4 simple steps. We'll go through each of those in detail, but those are: number 1, picking a style; number 2, picking a layout; number 3, picking a fabric; and number 4, deciding on your details. It's really as simple as that, because anything is possible here at BuildASofa. Our pieces can be as custom or not as you want them to be. I sell probably 80% of my orders using standard size pieces, standard fabrics, standard leg colors, and no custom charges at all. That being said, I have some clients that are completely custom. They may send me a photo of something that they just fell in love with, and we'll recreate that based on dimensions and layouts and photos that they provide. I have designers that send in full spec sheets for us, and we'll build to spec. So this really can be as custom or not as you want it to be. But with all that being said, let's jump into the first topic, and that's going to be style. All right, so step number 1 in the BuildASofa process is picking a style. You can view all of our 45 styles at BuildASofa.com. Just click on the Styles tab right at the top of the homepage, and we'll attach a link here in just a moment for you for an easy access to that. Once you get to the Styles page, you're going to notice that the photos of the individual styles are all shown in different configurations. But keep in mind, we can make any configuration in any of the styles. So if you look up here on the wall, these are all done in my Maxwell style. So this one's a 1-arm sofa with a chaise and a half. This one's a sofa chaise with a 1-arm sofa. This client here in the middle did a sofa with return on the left and left an arm off to keep it nice and open in the space. Then they have an armless sofa in the middle and a 1-arm chaise on the right. Client at the top, just a single sofa, and top left, they have an arm on both sides in a big L-shaped sectional. So any of the styles can be made into a sofa or a sectional of any size or configuration. But that's the first hurdle, is really getting a style, and then we can get into dimensions, because they're all going to vary a little bit by style. Some styles have a 39-inch total depth, some have a 36-inch total depth. So once we get the style figured out, then it makes it a lot easier to figure out what pieces are going to really work for your space. But that's hurdle number 1, picking a style. So y'all jump on BuildASofa.com, hit that styles tab, and see which one's going to fit your space. All right, guys, so number 2 in our BuildASofa process is layout. Layout's going to vary depending on your home, your space, whether it's open concept or a den. It's really going to vary depending on your unique living space, but we've got a layout for anybody. My biggest suggestion for clients that come in and ask what type of layout they should do is laying out painter's tape or newspaper on the floor, so that you get a really good feel for how the room's going to fill up, how a coffee table or end tables are going to fit into the mix. I've been doing this for 10 or 11 years now, and I still have a hard time visualizing what 113 by 84 is going to look like in a space. So once you get it on the floor, it's usually a no-brainer as far as how big or how little you should go with your sectional, and it's going to really help you visualize how the piece can look. Here in the shop, I also provide 2-scale drawings of different layouts for clients. So I have a lot of people that'll just bring in their, kind of outside dimensions as far as what space they can fill up. And then I'll provide some different layout options for them, because a lot of people don't have a hard time understanding all of the possibilities out there, and like to lean on my, years of knowledge in the sofa business for what's possible. But that's our layout setup. So if you've got questions, please email or call me. I'm here to help. But let's move on to number 3. All right, guys, so number 3 in the BuildASofa process is going to be picking a fabric. Fabrics can be a little overwhelming because we do have a ton of options, as you can see. but usually we can narrow it down pretty quick with just a couple of questions. I usually like to ask folks here in the shop if they like soft and velvety, if they like a woven fabric, or if they like something in between. And that really kind of helps me hone in on which books to show them right from the get. The other questions I like to ask is, how are you going to live with this sofa? Do you have pets? Do you have kids? Do you have grandkids? Do you have sloppy friends that leave a mess every time they come to the house? Because we've got some really great fabrics that clean super easy, that are going to be stain resistant right out of the gate. And then we also have some MasterGuard protection that we can apply and some upgraded higher performance fabrics that we can get into. Now, most of my orders are sold in a standard grade fabric. I've got a couple hundred options. We've got a ton of different textures and colors to choose from. So probably 95% of my orders are sold in a standard grade fabric. You can order swatches of those free of charge at BuildASofa.com. Click on the swatches tab at the top of the homepage. I send them out USPS free of charge, so you actually see and feel the fabrics at your house and see what might work for the space. Some of my better selling fabrics as of late have been, these kind of soft velvety fabrics. I love these because they're super easy to clean. Just wipe them up with a microfiber hand towel, a little bit of warm water worst case, or if you need to move on to some Folex to clean them up really, really good, you can do that. But I have a fabric like this at my house. It's been in the house for 2.5, almost 3 years now, and still looks great. We've got little schnauzers that like to dig and burrow, and it holds up to that really well. Spills clean up really easy. So great option here. If soft and velvety isn't your thing, we've got some great textured fabrics. Something like this. I've got in just about any color you could think of, but the nice thing with these textured fabrics is they're gonna hide a lot more. The soft and velvety is a real consistent look on it, and so things show a lot more, whereas something like this is gonna hide your everyday dirt and grime. They're a little tougher to clean just because of the nooks and crannies that texture creates, but they're gonna hide a lot and look really, really good year after year. So tons of options when it comes to fabric, but it really depends on your space, what look you're going for, how you're going to use the sofa. But again, order some free swatches. We ship them all over the US, and take a look at them in person and call me with questions. All right, so once we've got a style, a layout, and a fabric figured out, we get to jump into the details of your sofa or sectional. I've got a lot of options here, so we're going to go through the majority of them here pretty quick. The first thing is leg color. So we've got a ton of different leg colors for you to choose from so that you can match the other furniture in your house, whether that's a credenza or end tables, coffee table. We've got a lot of different options that you can choose from. These can go on any of the sofas. We've got all the colors available on any of the leg styles, but you get to choose that at no additional cost to really make it fit your space. Number 2 is cushion fill. We've got soft, medium, and firm foam that's included in our base price. And then we've also got a down wrap cushion that's a little bit of an upgrade. The big differences between foam and down: foam's gonna have a lot more clean, streamlined look, and I'll put up some photos here of pieces that have foam seats versus over here on this side. We'll show a couple of things that have down wrap cushions. Down's gonna have a little more of a frumpy look to it, a little softer, a little more inviting. With that, down requires a little bit more maintenance. You gotta fluff the cushions, keep them looking fresh a little bit more so than you do with our foam cushions. Foam, I sell probably 80% of our orders in the medium foam. It's comfortable, supportive, it'll give you good longevity. But if you're somebody that likes a really, really soft sofa, the soft foam might be a good option. And then if you're somebody that needs, maybe a little help getting up and out of the sofa, or you have a bad knee or something like that, the firm option might be really good for you. It's good for the back, sits you up nice and proper, and that's a great option for a lot of clients. The down, one of my favorite things about the down is you just kind of sink into it. It kind of hugs you and holds you. So it's going to be great for media rooms, loungy TV spaces, family rooms, things like that. But at the end of the day, the cushion fill that you go with is totally personal preference. I wouldn't say that one is better than the other one. They're just different. With cushions, you also get your choice of cushion layout. So big thing right now is bench cushions. Everybody loves the bench cushions, myself included. That's what we have at the house. I don't like losing my remote control or change, things like that in between the cushions. And I like to lay on the couch. So it's nice having that one solid cushion that you can lay out on without falling in a crack. There are some downsides to bench cushions. You know, you can only flip them one way or the other, whereas individual seats, you can flip them in place and rotate them, things like that. But again, much like cushion fill, I think cushion layout is totally personal choice. There's no right or wrong answer. It's just how it's going to work best in your space. That's it for the big details. You know, there's some smaller things that we can get into in later videos, but those details are all included in our base price and an option for you here at BuildASofa. All right, guys, thanks so much again for tuning in to the channel. We're going to be providing some more videos over the coming weeks, really doing a deep dive into the options here at BuildASofa. But thanks so much. If you could hit that subscribe button, we'd really appreciate it. And remember the 4-step process here at BuildASofa, you know, picking a style, picking a layout, picking a fabric, and then picking your details. And remember, we ship nationwide, so anywhere in the US, our nationwide carrier covers. It's just $1.99 for in-home delivery across the United States. That's full in-home, so the guys will bring it in, set it in place, unwrap everything, haul the trash away for you. Give us a call, shoot us an email. We'd love to help out with your sofa or sectional needs.